I am here. How is everybody doing? We're back again on Sunday. It is 11 a.m. on the East Coast. It is May 5th. We are back doing Major League Baseball. You know how we always around here running to the last minute. You know, I'm so bad that at times I've been starting the show like 5 minutes later, like putting the time at 11:05, 11:10, just because I could put it at any time. I'm always rushing to the last minute. Just seems the way that goes. Anyhow, let's bring in our boy Moose Money Bets back again from last week. See if we could hit this Major League Baseball card and start or end the week on a good note. Good morning, Moose.
DommyGun, what's
How
going
are you,
on?
brother?
It's Sunday. We got some baseball, so you got to have your boy Moose Money Bets up in here. Let's go.
There you go, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. We
Yeah, yeah.
glad to see you back again from last week. A little rough, a rough. I've had a rough week or two, about a rough last 10 days, up and down, more down than up. But that's how it goes in Major League Baseball. I've been just been getting. I know some people might think this is a crazy, but a lot of the games I'm not so worried about that I've been losing because I've been just losing on like yesterday the under in the White Sox game under first five,
Mm,
bottom of the
mm.
fifth I lost it.
Yep.
So those kind of things that happen. I always run with the theory that it's possible to have the right cap and wrong result. I mean, obviously, because if we always capped the right way, we would be winning all the time, and this
Uh-huh.
wouldn't be a game, right?
Yep.
So that's what makes this game so hard, man. But you got to keep at your like you talked about this already. You got to keep at your process. If you believe in your process, you got to keep at it. And if at times you got to change things up, tweak a couple things, then that's what you do. I mean, I've done it. For instance, this year I haven't done a lot of volume per day that I usually do. I've been trying to keep that down a little bit. We'll see if that continues.
Yep.
But
Hey,
anyway,
it's
that's
baseball.
just
It's
yeah.
baseball.
Did you do anything yesterday with the Kentucky Derby or anything?
No, I don't do horses all that
No,
much. I mean, I got the Delmar horse track near here. It's a very beautiful venue, but I'm not a huge horses person. It's a side of gambling that I really never truly got into. But what about you? Did you get anything done with the Derby?
I didn't yesterday. I usually do. I used to do horses a lot. We used to go to the track a lot. I kind of faded away from that when I started getting serious about sports betting because it's a game. It's a fun game. It's fun to bet, but I can't beat it, and it's
Yeah.
hard to beat. It's really hard to beat. I mean, you really got to if you're going to be at it like Razor Sharps. He's really good at it because he follows it every day. That sport you can't leave no time off, man. You got to know what you got to really follow everything and
Hmm.
around here, the guys that I know that are good at at horses are guys that like live at Belmont Racetrack. They're there every
Yeah.
day. They live there. They
Yeah.
know the trainers. They know the horses. They watch the workouts in the morning. It's not a game for me. And when it comes to sports betting and gambling too, I always felt that I had to cut out a couple of things. Concentrate more on a few
Hmm.
sports, and so that was my theory with horse betting. But our friends, we have a lot of friends who just love it, right? And
Yep.
they did it all day long yesterday. Jimmy the Bag hosted all those guys, man. All day long they were on live. So shout out to those guys. Shout out
Yeah.
to
Power
those
to him.
guys.
Power to him.
Yeah, man. But like I said, the horse is the horse. I don't bet NBA either. It's hard. I just could never beat NBA, so I stopped betting it. It's just something I couldn't beat, whether I just wasn't capping it right or whatever. I just couldn't do it, so I laid off it. So things like that. Anyway, anyhow, let's get to baseball. Something that at times we all good at.
Hmm.
At least
Hmm.
it's something we know. That's for sure. I did write down the we'll just go quickly. The first game of the day, I don't have a play on, is that Yankees against Detroit. It's a weird game for me. I know I talked about Schoolball last week and how I'm looking to get him to go against him against a good offensive team. I don't know if the Yankees are that yet. They seem to be breaking out of it little by little, but this ain't the day I'm going to go against Schoolball. I don't trust Cortez. He's so up and down. He's hard to figure out. So that kind of game, I don't have any real thing on it. I just kind of mentioned the weather here in New York is terrible. It's in like high 50s.
Yep.
So, if anything, the total already dropped till 6.5 now. Yep. So can't touch that game. Next game up though, Colorado Pittsburgh. I do see you have a play on that game, don't you?
I do not have a play.
Oh, you don't have a play on that game?
No, I passed on that pretty quickly. I got you.
Okay.
Quickly.
I wrote down something else from a game. A friend of mine was one, and I think I mixed that up with yours. But I got you. The first game you're on is what?
Which game do you want to go to here? Because I'm not sure which chronological order you want. But
all right, the next game up,
Mets
Toronto,
Rays.
Washington.
I do not have Toronto, Washington. The first play in terms of like where it is on my card is Mets Rays.
Okay, that was the next one I was going to go. That's how it's listed in from what I'm looking at. Anyhow, the Toronto, Washington game, another weird type of game. Manoah's first time pitching, right?
Yes, first time pitching this year. He did pitch in the minors, and he was what's the word here? Awful. He was awful. He had one good start, his recent start where he struck out double digits, but his starts before that were typical Alek Manoah starts. Gave up multiple runs, multiple hits, didn't last long. So you don't know what you're getting here from Manoah. If you feel confident enough that you can fade him with that Washington lineup, hey, go for it. But if you want to back him for some reason,
Washington's tough, man. They don't strike out a lot. They're not such a bad team. I mean, the price now went up is to a minus, but as a dog, they're always something to look at. Gore isn't the greatest. I went against Means yesterday. I didn't go against him. I thought the game was going to go over with those two pitches yesterday, and he's another one that didn't pitch good and had his first start yesterday, but he pitched a gem.
Yeah, I don't like teams that
starts.
Well, in the Washington Nationals versus right-handed pitching in their last 275 at bats, 552 OPS, 198 average. So yeah, that's not a team I'm not gonna trust to hit Manoah. Just like I'm not gonna trust Manoah to not have a team that's that poor hit him. That was an off game for me. Dabby Cat, what's up, my boy? What's up?
Dabby, what's up? How are you? Anytime you want to come in on a Sunday, you're always welcome. Listen, the Mets, Tampa Bay, Pepio against Severino. Now, Severino, so you're on this game, I know. Severino is off a gem of a game that he got the loss. I mean, just brutal. 8 shutout innings and he loses the game. I don't know. Can he come back and do that? I mean, as far as the Mets are concerned, Quintana also had 2 games ago, went deep and then didn't do so well his next time out. I don't know if Severino's going to hold this game. I know the total has dropped. I'm seeing a 7 now. What are you on this game?
I am on the under, and you bring up the concern here, which is workload. Severino coming back from a larger workload. The thing with Quintana, and I didn't talk about it last week just because it's something that if you hear somebody is on a play that the stat goes against, sometimes don't be that guy that's just, rains down on the parade. And sometimes I have that tendency. Sometimes I am a parade rainer. But Quintana at home has been significantly better than on the road. And Quintana, his last start was on the road, and it didn't go too well. But Severino, this is his make it or break it year with his money, potentially, with contracts. And I love what he did in the offseason. You're seeing the benefit of it now, changing his sleep cycle, his eating habits, and all these things that you stress to young pitchers trying to make it that will give them the advantage. Is the workload last game a little too much in this spot? I don't know. That's going to be the concern I have here. But other than that, Severino has looked very good. Papillon has looked excellent as well.
Yes.
You look at the Mets and Rays against right-handed pitching, 662, 658 OPS, both hitting around 230, 223. Not a lot of slug, both under weighted runs above average. I mean, just all things that tell you it's likely to be an under. The number went that way. I got in last night on a first 5 under 4. So that's why I'm playing here is the first 5 under 4, and I got it at minus 115.
So you got the under 4. I'm sure it's 3.5 now.
Wouldn't be
I'm sure
shocked.
it's probably 3.5. It's probably juiced high now. I don't have it in front of me right away, but I'm sure it is. I hear what you're saying. And listen, the Mets pen is better than the Rays. So I mean, even if Severino doesn't, if he gets them in at least into the 5th or 6th inning, I think that the pen could hold down the Rays. Like we know, the Rays haven't been. They seem to little by little. I don't know. I kind of feeling that they're going to start breaking out little by little, but I mean, they can't continue being this bad.
I mean, this team's different since the Wander Franco thing. I mean, I'm not sure if people kind of just dismiss it, but that second half was not very good. Wander Franco is very critical to what they're trying to do over there. How much of that has played into what's happening here? I can't give you the answer to that, but it certainly seems like there's a correlation.
Yeah, without a doubt. I get it. So all right, so you're on that play. That's a great one. I like that. And that, like I said, right now I'm seeing the Rays at minus 118. I mean the line really hasn't changed too much. And Pepio, what's he? See, he's been going pretty. This is what I like about him. I love pitches like that go long. He's 18 outs last game. 18.
Mm-hmm.
He's averaging 17 in like a third over his last 6 games. So he's pitching good. He's pitching deep. 1.67 walks in his last 6 games to, let's see, 6.33 Ks. And only 3.33 hits he's allowed average over the last 6 games. And he's played the Brewers, who are a good team. Tigers, I mean, the Angels aren't, but, San Francisco, Texas. I like him. He's one of the stars for the Rays. What's just a strange team and what they've been doing. And I watched them in that Yankee series. They made so many errors on the base paths that it was pretty amazing. They were just seemed like they're not playing Tampa baseball. I see the manager make some weird errors. He left in Savali way too long in that Yankee game where he was pitching great, and they just blew up into like 5-6 run inning. So anyway, that's you're on the first 5 under 4.
Yep.
Next game up I see is Angels Cleveland. I mean, the Angels without Trout, no less, even though he wasn't doing nothing anyhow, but without Trout, they're a tough team to back. I thought the total at 8.5 was high. I do see it at 8 now, but Carrasco's pitching. Who the hell knows what's good? Believe me, I know a lot. I know Carlos Carrasco. I'm not going to trust him. And he actually started off with a couple decent starts, and then progressively has gotten worse. So you're not on that game, right?
No, but there is a couple of things to point out here.
Go ahead.
Quan left the game yesterday with some hamstring tightness, and Josh Naylor, who was sat yesterday and benched, might actually be a good play today. He was, to say pumped up after his brother hit the grand slam is probably an understatement. I would definitely be leaning Guardians here, but you mentioned the big factor there is Cookie. What's Cookie going to bring to the table? No pun intended. But I would probably be leaning Cleveland. I just wouldn't be able to get there. It would be very difficult to trust Cookie. But Canning has not done well against the Guardians.
Yes,
he has not done well against the Guardians. And Trout, for what it's worth, Trout was leading the league in home runs. Now they don't have that thump in the middle of the order.
Right.
The Angels lineup looks completely awful. And I was thankfully on the Guardians yesterday. That was one of my only wins on the day. Was the Guardians. I was on them big. I would be leaning here, but tough to kind of know. The Guardian offense has been inconsistent, to say the least, recently, especially with Quan out of the lineup, the Major League hit leader.
And to take him, and I'm not going to back Carlos Carrasco at a minus 136 price that it is right now, just to add to that, to everything you were saying.
Yeah.
So, but I like Cleveland. They started off real strong, and they had a little bit of a lull, and you kind of thought, maybe they just started out strong, but no, they've bounced back. They're a solid team. They're definitely a solid team. They got maybe a little work to do on that in that starting pen, but they are definitely a solid team and a team that did pretty well last year. So we expected them to hopefully do better this year. The next game is Seattle and Houston. Are you on this game?
I am on this game.
This is an interesting game to me. This game I've been toying around with. I didn't want to make too many plays. I was on the fence with this game. I think Seattle's in a good spot. I'd like to hear what you have to say about this.
I absolutely agree that the Seattle's in a good spot here. In fact, Seattle versus Hunter Brown have done very well in his two appearances. In his first appearance, Hunter Brown, this was last July 7th, went 3 innings, 5 runs, 8 hits. His next outing against against Seattle, 2 2/3, 8 hits, 6 runs. So his ERA is 17.47. And Bryce Miller has pitched really well against the Astros in his outings. Seattle looks like they're the better team right now. I know Houston's hitting the ball a little bit better recently. Their average, their OPS, their slug, it all going in the right direction. But I still think this is a Seattle team that is better prepared for games right now, has potentially the better depth that's going on right now. I mean, Brayu's not even with them right now. They had to send down to the minors. The Seattle bullpen isn't taxed too much. In fact, Munoz hasn't even pitched in this series. So I like the Mariners first 5, and I like them full game. So I took them in both spots. First 5, split it up, half unit on the money line, half unit on the run line, and then a full unit on the money line for the full game.
I had them yesterday for the win. I had them the first game for a loss. I was surprised they lost that first game, but I went back with them yesterday. And I keep on seeing this line going towards Houston. So I could definitely, I might, and now I know that you're on it too, I just definitely might get to that game. I mean, I can't believe the line. So what line did you take?
I got it. It must have been at a worse number if everything's moving towards them. I got the money line at plus 104, and then I got the first half at a minus 107 money line and a plus 125 run line.
Well, all right. I mean, the Astros, listen, I think the Mariners' bats are tough. I think the starting pitching is good. I think their pen is better. The Mariners don't score a lot of runs. Normally they're not if for someone that likes to play overs, they're not the best. But 96 as a team, 96 weighted runs created plus, and they're considerably better than the Astros. So I like Seattle. I like Seattle going forward. They're a team that I've been keeping my eye on. That's definitely something I might get to. The next game up is, and I'll see if I get to one of my Chicago St. Louis. Yesterday I took I told you I took the under first 5, and they gave it up yesterday in the bottom of the 5th. Today Crockett, who knows how he's got Crochet. I guess that's how you pronounce his name. He's supposed to be a star. This kid, so far not. I don't even have a pitcher listed for St. Louis.
It's Libertor, but it's supposed to be a bullpen day.
Yeah, there you go. Next game up, Milwaukee, Chicago. Are you on Peralta?
No, it's so juiced to the under.
Juiced.
The first half, or the first 5, I should say, is under 3.5 at minus 120, minus 125. I mean, Jesus, you're just basically telling anybody, I dare you to take the over. I dare you to take the over.
And you know what happens when they dare you to take something, right?
Yeah, usually.
Okay, let me get to a game that we're both on that I skipped over. Oh, before I do that, quickly, I went again. I not yesterday, but the day before. I took Boston, tried to go against the falling knife of Minnesota, with the fact that yes, they won 10 games, but it was 7 of them were against the White Sox. The other 3 were against I forgot who, but another team that has been hitting well. Um,
Angels.
Angels. There you go. So I thought, and Boston, they've been, decent. Their starting pitching has been good, but not Minnesota keeps on winning and winning and winning. They got 12 straight now. They're tough to go against, so it won't be me going against them today. Joe Ryan's pitched better than I really expected him to pitch to start out the year. So I don't know if you have anything on that game.
No, I leaned
Yeah.
under. Would love to be on the under here, but
Yeah,
man,
and I have covers open right now, so because it's so easy to read when you're on the show.
yeah, yeah.
They have the total dropping to 7.5. So from
Yeah,
8 to 7.5. So
I get it.
we missed that. Yes, I get it. We mentioned that. We mentioned okay. Here's one that I'm on. Oh wait. Let me not pass this game because we're both on it. Texas against Kansas City. John Gray against Lynch. So Kansas City's going to be, I guess, a bullpen game, and a bullpen that hasn't been that has decent numbers, but their X numbers, like their X FIP numbers, if you work it out, it's towards the bottom of the league. Their bullpen seems to be regressing a little bit. Their starting pitching was top of the league for a while there, and then Boston kind of took them over. I like John Gray today. I took Texas. It was minus 132. He started out slow, but his last two games or so, he's pitched well. Even that game against the Nats, which I kind of, in a way, compared this game to, he only had a couple strikeouts, but he kept them, and they're a team like you mentioned mentioned them before. What I found interesting in that game is that his ground ball to fly ball rate, which is something I've been using more and more this year, was 13 to 11. So we had a good ground ball to fly ball rate. To me, I like Gray minus 132. His last five
Yeah.
starts, his last five starts, 4 earned total. Yeah, he pitches well against. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
He's also on the road, which has been a much better place for him. Granted,
Yeah.
you look at his career splits and you notice that
it's
the
back.
road ERA is better. He pitched to Coors as well. So, that's
Yes.
going to be the case in most pitchers' scenarios when they have pitched for the Rockies. I think that the bullpen day today, and in mine, I don't think it's supposed to be a bullpen day. I think they're expecting Lynch to try to pitch
try
them
to give them some innings.
some
I
innings.
I was going to ask you about that.
But
I was wondering that.
awful. He has been awful. I mean, you look at his minor league starts, it's the same thing as Manoah. He has just been getting touched up in his starts in the minor leagues, and his last outing was decent. It wasn't great, but it was decent, and that's when they're using the promotion on him. Last year, he was awful. So I'm going to take the Rangers lineup that kind of broke out a little bit yesterday, has played well in the first 5 innings on the road, and the Royals have not been as good in the first 5 as they have been the full game. And if you're talking about it potentially being a bullpen day, and you look at what happened the game before, and the Rangers got to that bullpen early and often and exploded for, I forget, I think 11, 13, 14 runs or something like that. And the bullpen is already taxed. I mean, this just seems like a spot where if you win the first 5, you're winning the full game. So why even try to go for the full game? Just take the first 5. Because if it's close late, Royals do have their main guys rested right now because they didn't need to throw. So I would focus on the first 5 here. I think that's the most prudent choice. But, I mean, if you want to go full game, I don't hate it. But I think the game is going to be won in the first 5 innings here.
I got you. I'm on the full game already. But you took the first 5?
Yeah, I took Rangers first 5, took it this morning, money line minus 125, and the run line plus 105.
Oh, okay. Oh, you took the run line on the first 5?
Yeah, I just split it right down the middle, so that way it gives you a much better odds. Because if you're going to win the money line, you're winning the run line for the first 5. So I just always do it that way.
Yeah, I got you. I just a bet I bet personally I don't make his first 5 run line bets ever, but I got you. And that makes sense what you said. I tend to shy away from. I started it last year and it helped me a lot. I just first fives for me just don't work out as much as they as the full game does. I have it. Just my feeling is that the first five bet was just a great bet a couple of years ago, and the books definitely caught on to it because the lines have definitely risen over the years, and I just feel sometimes the way I cap, maybe it's the way I cap too. I just tend to, for some reason, lean towards a full game before I lean towards the first five. Not that I don't play them, obviously, but I seem to play more totals with the first five than outright teams. If I look at it, to be honest with you. But anyhow, we're both on this game on both ends. My computer, of course, dropped out when I was talking about that game, but thankfully it's back. Next game up is let's see. Chicago, Miami, Baltimore, Miami, Oakland. I'm on Oakland. Did you play this game at all? I've been on Oakland every game in this series. At Who-Bangin Sports, we play fade the Marlins. That's our motto here at Who-Bangin. It's been working so far.
I get it, man. That's a successful motto so far in the season.
Sometimes you got it. Sometimes it's simple, right? How you doing, DJ?
What up, though?
What's happening?
Can y'all hear me out there?
You is.
Man, I think you didn't see me there for a long time. It's kind of hard to miss me too. What up, Moose?
What's up, DJ? What's going on?
How you feeling today? Long time no see, buddy. You busy man, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. School year is coming to an end, so a lot of focus has been on that. And you know how these kids can be towards the end of a school year. It's just like, oh shit, we got to get in all of that bad behavior now before we go to summer.
Yeah. And plus, the weather lately tried to drown y'all out there in San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, the weather's been crazy all over. I mean,
sure has.
Yeah, absolutely.
It felt like half the games I was capping in MLB, I just was like, nope, not trying to do this game. 44 degrees out there, I'm good on that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's funny you said that about school, though.
I'm live from the Orleans Sportsbook right here in Las Vegas, man.
Nice.
And I'm out here representing. Check out the shirt. Oh,
nice.
That's for you poker player Who-Bangers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know. And you can hit the merch in the link or whatever. But
we gotta get Moose's shirt. We gotta send Moose's shirt, DJ.
I had a mediocre day yesterday. Just didn't get too far into it. I only had 2 bets while I was out here, and I went 1-1, and then I had the under in that stupid fight, and I should have knew better.
Did you play the Derby?
I played the Derby, and I had the 2 and the 4, and they came in the mix, but the 3 on top just knocked me out of there. I didn't see who really had the 3, but I didn't have any insight on it, so
I didn't really follow.
For the 4. Yeah, I was going for the 4, but
I didn't really follow. I really didn't follow who was on. I didn't watch those guys at all. Yes, I didn't play nothing with the Derby. I was just so involved yesterday with things around the house. Moose, did you take anything in this Miami-Oakland game? I took Oakland. I got them at -124. I had them yesterday at -22 or whatever the hell it was. Listen, it's not the the hardest cap in the world. The only problem in this game, the negative for me, is what Joe Boyle. He does walk a lot of guys. 20 in 26 and 2/3 innings. But I mean, if he's going to have any decent outing, it's against the Miami Marlins, who have like one of the lowest walk rates in the league, especially against righties. They lost that kid. Did they lose somebody in the trade?
What, Arise?
Yeah, they lost him. He was one of their best offensive players, right? So they lost him.
Yeah,
they don't even have him no more with the Marlins, is my point. So Sixto as a starter, 8 earned as his last 6 and 2/3. He was so much better in the pen. He's been tough his last 2 outings, 8 earned, 6 and 2/3. I mean, everything pointed towards Oakland. I just been riding Oakland lately. They've been a team for me that's been doing well, and I backed them again today. Like I said, Boyle, I'm a little worried about with his walks, but I'll tell you, he has some heat on that fastball. He's clocked it at 100 early in games. And like I said, if it wasn't Miami, I probably wouldn't have took this game. But since I took him the last 2 times, I want to take him again today. Let's see. Sanchez, Yeah, I mean a 1.95 WHIP, a 10.80 ERA in his last 3 games and
Hmm.
6 innings pitched. I mean, we could go on and on with him. Um, Oakland has won 6 in a row.
Hmm.
They been playing well. The only other team that's won more than them, I guess, is the Twins, who won 12 in a row. So I'm on Oakland. Are you on anything in this game?
No, I mean this game just took too much of my damn time capping it last night. It's such a weird game where you see Miami, who I would still expect to be the better team because they have the better player, and I like Sanchez. I think he's got elite stuff, but he has just looked awful. It does not look like he has a good
Yeah.
feel for that. I don't trust that Oakland is a top 10 team in OPS and average. I do
No,
not
I don't
trust
think.
it.
Like I said, if it well, I kind of disagree about the Marlins, but like I said, I would have took this game if it was anybody else but the Marlins. So I agree with you. What you're saying, I agree. I got what you're saying. I think
Yeah.
it's just another spot that, that Oakland is just to me. I think. Listen, is it Sixto that he can't? That is the starting role, or that he has to get used to? Or I mean, because you're right, he had elite stuff coming out of the pen. I mean, he was great. So
And he's
I
pitched
guess we'll see
well in a
what happens.
starter's role before. He's done it
I just
before.
like how Oakland's playing. I don't like the way Miami, doesn't. Boyle's problem is walking, and Miami's problem is they don't walk enough. So I kind of felt that canceled each other out. Um, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I
Yeah.
haven't been seeing things great lately, so we'll see what happens with this. But I'm on Oakland minus 124. Jimmy Gomez in the house. What's up, Jimmy?
Yo, what
Yeah.
up, y'all? What's
Jimmy
up,
Go ahead.
Bangin
G.
Nation?
I don't know if
What's
you can make
cracking
it or
loose?
not. How's
Hey,
everything?
you know what? I stayed up so late that I didn't even fucking make it to the beginning of the show. Damn it.
Listen, when I woke
um,
up at 4:30 in the morning and seen that you text me, and I text you back at 4:30, then I went back to sleep till like 6:30.
yeah, man.
So
So
yeah.
yeah, no, we're in the middle of trying to get ready to go. We got a freaking early o'clock game. So I don't know where you
Oh,
last
good.
left
If
off.
you there's a boy Avery in the house. DJ, how you doing, Avery? Good to see you, brother. Glad you joined the show. Jimmy, I know you don't have much time, so before me and Moose finish up, tell us what games you're on and do your thing.
Well, like I said, I didn't finish the cap for all the entire games. I got pretty much like 10 games for this morning. Something that I do like is the under in the Colorado Pitt game. I think currently you can get a under 8. Um, let me see what I have. They're going 4-10 to the under at PNC Park. Also, Colorado's last 8 days facing opponents that are under 500 or less. Last 8 days have gone under as well. So I'm on the under 8 minus 115. I also do like. I
The
know you
only Falter
mentioned.
hasn't pitched bad. Falter's somebody I've been having my eye on. He hasn't pitched bad. He's 32 innings pitched, 23 strikeouts, 7 walks, 15 earned. That's a little up there, but
Hmm.
he hasn't pitched bad. I kind of like Belly Falter. I think going forward he's going to just be pitching better and better. I kind of looked at that under myself today. I think it might have dropped since this morning. Did you bet it? What total did you get?
I got a minus 8, or excuse me, under 8,
Yeah.
115. So it
Okay.
was a
Cool.
7.5 last night.
Right.
It moved around. It was a 7, seven and a
I see a
half. So
seven and a half now. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's been going down and up. So it's
Okay.
not necessarily like steam going in my direction completely to the point where I
Yeah.
feel
That
fully comfortable.
I don't
But
care
it is
about
what it
that.
is.
Yeah.
I am on the Oakland play with you as well. I know you briefly touched that right before I walked
Right.
in. Um, Athletics this season as a home favorite, they've yet to lose at home. So, obviously Athletics suck, but the books have them priced as a home favorite for a reason. Marlins, however, they are in a situational spot where they are possibly going to be tight. That's why they're kind of at a pick 'em. Marlins is an away dog coming off of a loss with the short line of 110 or less this season. They do have a 1-0 record. 1-0 covering the run line. But the line was originally minus 125, and money's been coming in with them. I do like that play as well. I do like the play of the under Chicago Brewers game, but it's under 6.5. I don't know if you guys had covered that. I don't know if you guys are.
It actually opened up at 6. We didn't cover that. That kind of game, like as far as the sides are concerned, like me and Moose were talking about, they kind of got away from us. As far as the total, it actually opened up at 6, which is you don't see that too much. To be honest,
but in this series, it's gone under in the series. It should have been under yesterday, but I'm not sure if anybody watched that game. But there were some questionable calls behind home plate, to say the least.
Seems to be a lot of that lately. Seems to be a lot of umpires making a lot of mistakes lately.
Bring on the bots.
You know, I guess I've been so against that, but I guess I can't be, because they're just making so many. They're affecting too many outcomes of games. It seems to feel like. What's the weather today at Wrigley? And it's blowing in. 11 miles an hour, but it's blowing in.
A little bit, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Let me not hijack the show. Let's just keep going, and then I'll put in my notes for whatever. But that's pretty much what I liked.
We did was we didn't bet every game either. We just kind of we each had like 3 or 4 or 5 plays each, and that's how we did it. DJ, did you bet any baseball today?
So I took the unforbidden dance that y'all talked about earlier with the Brewers and that first 5 under 3.5. You know, the full game is 6.5, and they're giving me still 3.5 at the beginning. I'm gonna go at the young guy pitching over there for the Cubs. He has a pretty good ground ball rate, so we should scoot right on through there quickly and with no point scored. But I'm gonna be sweating live sweat style in the 5th inning, because that's when the music plays is in the 5th inning. So I'll be holding on to my seat till then. But I also like I haven't put nothing on it yet, but I don't know, nobody touched on it. I also like the Dodgers today over the Braves to continue it going. Cinco de Mayo at Dodger Stadium, bananas. It's gonna be bananas, and you can get plus 120 on that one. I think it's definitely worth the try
Braves.
right there.
He said, "I bet the Braves."
Yeah, I did.
Tommy ain't even letting you finish it, DJ. He's like, "No,
he said if we didn't touch it, so we're against it. Sometimes we can't always all play on the same play.
Hey, the cartel and everybody is in the house today, drinking big Modelo's, taking big shots of tequila. Oh man, that's gonna be the place to be, man. It's gonna be the place to be. Might get a little drizzle early, but it's gonna clear up for the game, and it's gonna be nice over there. So I'm in Vegas. I'm here for the plus money, so I gotta take my squad right here on the plus money spot.
Yeah,
I hear you.
Well, good luck,
Moose.
good luck, DJ. I'm just like Tommy too.
I'm
I'm actually a little worried about our Dodgers. I'm thinking also Braves maybe. So
I like Milwaukee today.
Dodgers
since we started talking about that game, I'll just jump on that game since we talked about it. I went against Paxton last week. It didn't work. Paxton, though, he's a gas bag. He just walks too many batters, and it's the reason why I took Atlanta. He has 22 walks to 15 Ks. I mean, you always see that the opposite way. You don't see it that way. 7 more. 3.51 ERA. The X numbers going away. I have his X ERA at over 6. Same with XFIP. So I don't know. I couldn't back Paxton. Fried started off rough, as we know, but his last 2 games, 15 innings, 13 strikeouts, no runs. The Braves were kind of high. They were minus 132. I already took the Rangers at 132. So I threw the Rangers and the Braves in a parlay plus 208. And that's what I did in that game. Moose, you have any thoughts on the Atlanta game? Dodger game?
Yeah, let me just throw this out there. Paxton has home road splits big time. Like huge home road splits.
Yeah.
In his career, 3.16 ERA at home, on the road over 4.28 ERA on the road. So you got him at home here, and then you couple that with the fact that you got Atlanta and Dodgers as two of the best teams against lefties. Dodgers
Yes.
819 OPS, Atlanta
Yeah. Top
822.
10, right? Both the top
Yeah,
10
both top
OPS.
five, top five.
Oh,
I mean,
gotcha.
they just crush left-handed pitching.
Yep.
So what's showing up? Max Fried and Paxton, two guys that have very good situational spots here. Fried against basically any team in baseball, as long as you have a bat and you're in the batter's box, Fried has the advantage. And Paxton, who has pitched much, much better at home. I just stayed off of this because you could argue this one way or the other. You could argue, Dodgers and Braves versus left-handed pitching. Paxton at home, Fried versus anybody. I mean, you could argue this any way you want. I think what it comes down to is kind of what Big Boss says, is you just have to have a feel for your team. And if you have a feel for the Dodgers, if you feel like this is a good Dodger spot, Cinco de Mayo, orale, then go ahead, back them Doyers. But if you have a feeling that Paxton might be a little susceptible here, the Braves crush lefties, I just stayed off. So, but you can make an argument one way or the other.
Yeah,
And
I'm on the
it's just
Braves.
about how you
Well,
feel.
the Braves are minus 132. Like I said, I threw him in a parlay for the 208. Let's get our boy Ix Nizzle. Where you at, Ix Nizzle? There you is. Can you hear us, brother?
Yes, sir.
No, can't hear you. Can't hear you, Ick.
Can't hear me?
I got him.
There you go. Now
Yeah,
we
you're
go.
good.
How you doing?
I just had myself muted just because I'm outside and Moose was talking.
How you doing?
But what up, y'all? Just finishing up a little side job. Got the AC cranking
Out there
and
working on a Sunday.
yeah, working on a bus.
Only
You
my
know
man
what I'm
Hicks.
saying? Cinco de
A
drink.
side job means
Only
cash
breaking
money,
up,
right?
Don't know.
It means cash money. It means
That's right.
$1,700.
I'm a big proponent of side jobs. I've done many
But
over the
hey.
years. I hear you, man.
I had to stop in and say what up
I
to
was
the boys real quick on a beautiful Sunday. We're here in the land. It's a little overcast, but it's still a nice day, 70-some degrees. And we're finally getting to the better part of the year. For today, I do not have any baseball bets, but I do have a little same game parlay. I used a bonus bet, and it's plus 15, just under 1,600. And it's a Cavs money line because the Cavs are in a game 7 here against the Orlando Magic. And so I took the Cavs money line along with Donovan Mitchell and Pablo Banchero's over on the points. Okay, that was 28.5 and 24.5. Jared Allen, if he plays or not, is still to be determined. So, but I did use his over 8.5. I bought it down a little bit for the rebounds. And I took Darius Garland to get over 4.5 assists. I bought that down as well. And that Jalen Suggs, too, to get 10 points, to get 10 points, which I think he can easily do. He's a main component of their offense. That is just a little under, like I said, plus 1,600, $25 bonus bet to win almost 400. So let's fucking go. I hope you guys have a great day. Shout out the Who-Bangin OGs, keeping it moving. We got Dommy lighting it up on a Sunday with Moose, Money, DJ Big Boss, the Don Dada. Jimmy, I know he was in here. He stepped away for a second. But, yeah, much love to y'all. And, see, there's the sun. Sun shining down on that parlay. Let's go, DJ.
Let's do it for the land. Let's do it for the land.
Cheers to y'all. Much love. I will be checking back in to catch all your breakdowns and bets. And I hope everyone does great with their wagers today. Don't drink too much tequila, but eat plenty of tacos. Okay? So have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Much love, y'all.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna steal the. All right, X, take a go. I'm gonna call you X in a minute. But,
Okay, yeah, call me.
I'm gonna take over and steal the show from Dom for a little while he's gone. I'm gonna jump into my UFL. You been playing any UFL moves?
No, I have not even touched it. I haven't even looked.
Oh
at it,
yeah,
so
busy man like yourself don't got
Yeah.
time for that. I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. Well, I slowed down my betting. Only a few baseball plays, but I've been doing the UFL. As everybody know that's in here that follow me, Um, ain't been doing good. I'm down like 4 units now. So for the season, but we in week 6 right here. I didn't really care for the games yesterday. I did give out a live play on Twitter, but I really didn't like the games yesterday, even though both of the favorites won by margin and everything, and they were high up there. But today, I am taking the over in both games. Arlington Renegades and Michigan Panthers. This is the one that worries me a little bit. But Luis Perez, the quarterback of Arlington Renegades, he's top 3 quarterbacks in yardage and moving the ball basically. So he can't get into the end zone. Michigan Panthers coming off of a good week of running the ball that they've been waiting for a while. I'm excited to see what they're going to come up with today overall. But they do have a great defense. But what I noticed in the UFL, and it just all goes together, that they make a lot of mistakes, block kicks, stupid
Sorry about
fumbles,
that.
and all that kind of stuff. So
That
I
wasn't
think
good.
I want to say that the books came out with this 40, basically like 40 over underline since the beginning of the season. The first games all went under, so I think they're kind of sticking on the 40, and I think that 40 is really stale. And both games are the line is 42 and a half. So I'm going over in both the games today. Um, the only one I'll probably sweat a little bit is the Renegades. The last game, Brahmas and the Defenders, that one should be a shootout. I mean, Tabo, the quarterback of the Defenders, he's a top quarterback in yardage and all that stuff. Even though he doesn't really win, he can find the end zone. He's good on his feet and he can pass the ball. And the Brahmas, they just been making it happen. They got like 5 big targets at wide receiver. Sometimes they play Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but they can be explosive at any time. A lot of people got this game going over, and I think it's going to go over. Like I said, I think the books, kind of put the UFL on the back seat and still running with that 40. And we had a part of the season when it should be switched up a little bit. So there you go today, and I parlayed them over in the first game, over in the second game. That's my UFL picks. I had to jump on with Dommy to give them to you on Sunday because I didn't do a show on Saturday.
Oh, cool. All right, that's good. When's that season end now? How many more games are left in
The
that?
championship is played on my birthday, June 16th.
Ah,
it's
gotcha.
it's it's a total of 12 games. It's 10 regular season games, and then it's 2 additional games for the championship. So and there's some playoffs. If Michigan Panthers can get a win today, they could pretty much be looking really good and get the playoff spot. And if the Brahmas in the second game win today, they could be doing good in the playoff spot too. And Brahmas have a good record by luck though, but they still can be explosive at any time. So yeah, some good looks out there in the UFL, man. Like I tell everybody, it's a small market. I kind of take it easy around this time of year, so I got time to break it down. It's only 8 teams, but all's been going well as far as like the ticket sales and the viewership. Today's 2 games are on Fox, and I like the over on Fox. Fox is trying to really get the network going and get people in because they're going to be doing big things in college football coming soon. And in the NFL, they already have the NFC. So both games on Fox today, and I'm liking the over in both of them. Um, what else can I say, man? Yeah, attendance is up. They're getting more people in the seats. Michigan Panthers, they're at home today. They're struggling a little bit over there getting them in the seats, but they're doing way better than they did when they were UFL. I mean USFL. So that's a good look for them today. And the Brahmas in the DC, DC they got the what's that thing? The snake, the beer snake, and they bring that out every week. So they're gonna have some people in the stands, and that should be an exciting game. I thought much better of DC. DC was like the head team last year, but without their running game, their defensive game is breaking. I like the Brahmas to win too on that side, and I like the Michigan Panthers to win. And if both of those win, it'll be all favorites winning and covering for the weekend. But that's my piece on UFL. I know y'all don't want to hear it, but I'm giving it to you.
No, it's good to know. Listen, man. It's good that you're following it and that you keep us up aboard on that. I mean, how you doing, Real Deal Prime? Thanks for joining in. What's going on, man? You got any plays? Put them up. We're glad to talk about it. The next game that I think me and Moose are both on is I only got one more game And that is, well, there's only two more games, right? There's the Padres game and the Phillies game. I am on the Padres game. Although Baltimore, Cincinnati, we didn't touch on.
Yeah, I got playing that one as well.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me about that. That's something. That's another game that I was toying with. I had the I thought Means was going to get lit up yesterday. I thought Abbott was going to get lit up yesterday. Neither of them got lit up, and obviously I did not hit my over 9. But today, I mean, Lodolo's pitching at home. I mean, Kramer has been pitching a little bit better. What do you got on this game, Moose?
Well, and Kramer's been pitching better on the road specifically, and
Yes.
he's pitched better on the road for
Good point.
his short career here.
Valid.
It's a weird spot for the Reds with back-to-back lefties in the rotation, going from Abbott to Lodolo. And usually you want to have some kind of gap in between those guys so that you don't have the same hitters seen from the same side of the rubber. And the Baltimore has just crushed left-handed pitching. And I know what you saw yesterday in that cap with, hey, look at these numbers versus
OPS,
lefties and,
ISO. It's
yeah,
top,
it's
right?
just it's they're number one. They are literally number one
Yes.
in all those categories.
Yes.
So the fact that they didn't hit, and then Lodolo comes in, and Lodolo has not pitched as well at home. He still pitched well, but he's given up a few runs. You know, like 6 innings, 3 runs, or another one 5 2/3 with 2 runs. So he's given up runs. And Kramer, who's pitched much better on the road, and he's a better strikeout pitcher when he's on the road. So I took Baltimore for the first 5 money line, run line, and I took Kramer K's over 5.5 at a little plus money for a half unit.
What was the case? What was the case again?
It was
many?
5.5, and I got
5.5. Gotcha.
plus 130 on it. And
That's a nice price.
I
That's a nice
think
price for that.
and
He's
here's the
averaging, his average over the last 5 is a touch over 5 Ks. He had 4 against the Yankees, but before that, 10 against the Angels. Only 3 against Kansas City, but still. And he's been pitching deep, which helps you out, of course, when you have a strikeout prop. He's going, averaging the last 6, 17.17 out. So a little over 17 outs over his last 6. His last game against the Yankees, again, 21 outs he pitched. Then 16 against the Angels, 17 against Kansas City. So, I mean, that's what you want, obviously. You want him to pitch deep, especially when you have a strikeout prop like that.
And the other factor here is Cincinnati, their K rate versus right-handed pitching, 30.1%.
Yeah.
30.1%. And Kramer, when he has faced teams that actually strike out, has looked good. You listed the teams you listed there, the Yankees and the Royals. Those teams have not been striking out much. They've cut down their Ks considerably. I think this is a perfect spot for Kramer and the Orioles. Usually I would have just played one or the other, but I just could not make up my mind because both felt like they're both the right answer here. They both correlate, so I'll just play both and regret it later if that's what the case is. But I think this is a good spot for the Orioles. I think this is a really good spot for Kramer.
This is something I meant to look at because it's been on my mind. I haven't looked at the ballpark, but Cincinnati. I mean, we always talk about a hitter-friendly ballpark. The whole thing. It just doesn't seem like it is as much this year. But I got to look into that. Do you know?
Well, I mean, I can tell you. But first off, Ballpark Pal now pays, or you have to pay for a subscription.
Okay.
Which is just
a good reason why I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But you have Cincinnati. Where is it? Right here. Here it is. All right. As a home team, Cincinnati, their games have gone over 56.3%, 9-7-1 to the over. So not as drastic as you might think. It's a lot of it has to do with the fact that the Reds have just not been hitting well.
They haven't been hitting.
No,
which I don't think is going to hold up. I mean, I expect them to, to get that together. But
at some point,
you're on Baltimore first 5 of run line and money line, and they're on the K prop for Kramer.
Yep.
Beautiful. The next game up, and then like I said, now there's 2 left. We're both on this game, San Diego against Arizona. I'll just quickly. I took your Padres, which I took last Sunday. It didn't work out. And we talked about King being all over the friggin' place. But I took the Padres. I got them at even money. plus 100, or is it minus 100 or plus 100? That's the question of the day. But I took him at even money. Waldron on the road, has pitched well. He not so much at home, but on the road he's pitched well. Those splits are which you bring up a lot, are right there. I mean, Nelson struggling versus righties. Even last year he didn't really pitch that well at home. I remember. Nelson. I didn't look it up, but if I remember, he didn't do great last year at home. I took, like I said, I took the Padres. He's off. Nelson's off that 15-day DL, right?
Yes.
I think the Padres got the better bullpen. They are. So I guess those guys had to drop out before. Waldron overall is pitching. How many? He's going 5 innings pretty much every game. Last 2 games he went 18 outs. 4.5 Ks to how many walks? 1.67 walks. Not that. I can see some runs being scored in this game too, actually. But I went with the Padres. I like Waldron. His ERA on the road is really low. And how about you?
So that fan bet, just go ahead and take it up right here, crumple it up, give it a big old toss because I'm throwing it out the window, and I am taking the Padres here. I am actually on the Padres first 5 team total over. I am on the Padres team total over. This is my first ever official homer bet on the Padres, and I just think it's way, way too good of a spot. You look at Ryan Nelson. His first ever start against the Padres was fantastic. His next 4 starts after that have been atrocious. 5 1/3, 4 runs. 5 innings, 3 runs. 5 innings, 5 runs. 3 innings, 6 runs. Doesn't matter if he's pitching in Arizona or in San Diego. He has just struggled versus us. And with Arise now at the top of the lineup and seeing how immediately our approach was significantly better, I think the Padres are primed for some runs. It's nice seeing somebody at the top of your lineup that can actually get on base and not end innings. So I'm big time on Padres here. The question mark would be Waldron, but Waldron has pitched well against the NL West. He pitched well against the Dodgers. He pitched well against the Giants. He pitched well against the Rockies, and he's done okay against the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks, the only team that actually hit him around, and he's only faced them 1 time. So I do like the Padres here. First 5 team total over 2.5, and Padres team total over 4.5 for the full game. So I am rocking with my boys. I will be having a little bit more at stake today than I usually am, but I do like my San Diego Padres today.
What about the over in that game? You don't like the over for the full game?
Arizona has been awful against right-handed
They haven't
pitching.
hit the damn ball. That's the problem. I agree with you, DJ. But you know what? Maybe the Padres team total is more online. I didn't look up what it was, but
it's 4.5. That's what I'm on. 4.5 and 2.5. First 5.
Okay.
And
I didn't know you won the full game. Also, I thought you were just on the.
Nope. Full game first 5. I'm on it.
Yeah. I mean, what is the total
for the game?
8.5. Look like 8.5.
8.5.
I got 9s now.
I mean, listen, I could see the Padres putting up some runs today, but like I said, I just went with the Padres outright. I thought at even money they were a good spot.
Yeah, I'm not trusting Wald. He is to me still wall bum. You can't be a knuckleball pitcher, and not have your ball knuckle every time. Like you cannot be doing that. And he unfortunately is a knuckleball pitcher that doesn't have a consistent knuckleball. So I'm not trusting him.
That's why I say it seems like I'm just capping the capper. It just seems like the safest place is the over full game.
I mean, if that's how you feel, like he's not going to like that Arizona. What you're saying is you think Arizona's going to be able to hit him. So,
they did touch him up.
I don't think so. But the I'm looking at a total at 9 now on covers. It opened at 9.5, and now it's 9, and now you're seeing an 8.5, DJ.
Yeah, I'm just looking on ESPN. It says.
I thought maybe you're looking at the board over at.
No. I got my back to the board.
I got you. Anyway, so we're on different play. I'm on San Diego. I like them here in this spot. I think it's a good spot. And the last game up is. Are you on this last game? The San Francisco against Philly.
Yep, I am.
Walker's another pit. You're on this game.
Yep, I am.
Tell me about it.
It's Logan Webb, who has not pitched well against the Phillies, yeah, and has not really pitched well when he travels back over to the East Coast. So travel seems to affect him, and it's not all that surprising. A sinker baller has to rely on consistent release point, and they have to make sure that they're getting through the ball in a very consistent manner. And if you are lethargic, like in any way, shape, or form, a fireballer can find their legs. But if a sinker baller is not able to time up their legs, which is a little bit of a different thing, it can lead to some inconsistencies. And you have seen that with Logan Webb versus teams on the East Coast and specifically versus the Phillies. I don't know what to make of Walker. The Giants have been hitting better, but I still don't really trust them all that much. 243, 364, and 669 as their average slug and OPS. That's like middle of the road, and I don't know what to do with San Francisco, but I do know what to do with Philly, and I can trust that if Logan Webb is decent, their bullpen probably will not be, because that Giants bullpen since April 15th, 4.74 ERA with a 275 batting average against. So I feel pretty comfortable taking the Phillies team total here for the full game. Even if they're winning, I think that they still will hit that 5 by the time they get to the 9th inning. So Phillies team total over 4.5 for me, minus 115.
I took Walker. I took last week another pitcher, like I told you at the beginning of the show, that I went against a few pitchers who had their first start, and they came out well. I did not expect Walker to pitch that well against the Padres last Sunday, and that's who they beat. I mean, granted, he only had 4 strikeouts, but he went 19 outs, which I was shocked that he pitched that deep into the game. He only two walks.
A lot of hard hit ball. A lot of hard contact.
8 hits, but he still won the game. I mean, I didn't expect him to pitch well. I think that maybe I was one off. He came out strong. I think he gets. Listen, gun to head, I would probably take San Francisco today, but I left this game alone because of Walker. I just feel that my cap on him last week is going to work this week, and he's going to get shelled. But I can see this over in this game, too, because I agree with you 100% about Logan Webb. Another guy that we thought would be pitching a lot better than he is so far. So
yeah, home road splits for Logan Webb, and the number's actually 3.5.
Yeah, man.
It's only 3.5 for the Phillies team total, so I took that at minus 120.
I got you. All right, so we got it. We did it. We did a show. That was what happened with me. Why I had to jump away is a friend of mine is moving out of New York he's 70 years old and they never lived anywhere else. Matter of fact, his wife actually grew up in the house that they just sold. Like, she never lived anywhere else, not even a different house, which is crazy. But they're moving down to South Carolina, so he stopped by to drop off some stuff into my garage. And then he just came back and said, I forgot my Verizon cable box at the house. He had to run back to the house. Then he came here for me to drop it off for him tomorrow. So that's why I had to run away. But shout out to Chet and Lynn, good friends of mine, moving to down to Myrtle Beach, to Conway, actually, a little bit north of Myrtle Beach. And, anyway, I just wanted to mention that because they watch the show all the time, so I just wanted to mention their name. So, Moose, tell me what games you are on today. We will wrap it up for a Sunday.
All right, strap in. First 5, Mets, Rays, under 4, minus 115. First 5, Mariners, money line, run line, split at half units on each, minus 107, plus 125. Mariners, full game, money line, 1 unit. First 5, Rangers, money line, run line. Padres team total, over 4.5. First 5, Padres team total, over 2.5. Orioles, first 5, money line, run line. Phillies team total, over 3.5. And Kramer K's, over 5.5.
Moose, I tell you something. I've talked about it a couple times about that first 5 run line, how I don't play it. But I'll tell you something. The way you play it is something that it gives me a second, pause for thought. Because it just simply the way you put it was just simple. If you bet if you split the unit and go half and half, if you're going to win the first five, you're going to win the run line, and if you push on the first five,
You only lose
so
half.
you're only
unit.
losing a half a unit on the other side. I get it. It's the right way to play it, man. I give you props for playing it that way. I really didn't even think of it, to be honest with you, just because I just didn't think of that would be the way to play, just because I hate the damn bet.
Yeah,
so much.
honestly,
But I
Dom,
like
it's one of
that.
those. It's one of those strategies that I just started doing, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be told at some point by an experienced bettor, like, that's really stupid. You shouldn't be doing it that way. Here's how you should. I'm like waiting to be told this is how you're supposed to do the run lines, but every time I tell people that, like, oh yeah, I like that. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
I guess I guess I found something. All right.
I just think the run line bet outright is just a tough
Yeah,
bet.
no,
That's
not
all.
doing that.
But I like how you do that, man, because in the long run, if the ones that you lost, you're gonna make up because you get that good price on the. Yeah, I like it. It's good. DJ, what plays are you on, man?
I'm on the USFL games. I'm on the over in both games today. They both had 42.5. And I'm also on the under first 5 in that Cubs game. And I'll be looking to have a couple shots at the Dodgers plus 125.
Gotcha. Did you? It's a quick question on the UFL. What's the overs that they've been hitting more than the unders? Did you mention that?
Well, yesterday we got an over and an under. Today, I always like to take the overs on Fox, and we got the top quarterbacks playing today as far as like passing yards and stuff like that, and we got some flaws and some defense. All the cookings of an over is kind of brewing up today, and I just rather take them both overs. Worst case scenario, I believe I'll probably go 1-1, and I feel like that's my worst case scenario. One of them definitely going to go over, but I got them tied up in a parlay for $100 to win 364. Let's go over and over today.
Over. Listen,
over and over and over and over and over.
You would think the networks they want people to watch. They don't want to watch. People don't want to watch a 16-13 UFL game. That's for sure, right? So they want to see some action. They, obviously. So,
the
I
only
like
thing
that.
gonna keep the ratings. Gonna keep the ratings up. That's the only thing gonna keep the ratings up.
That's right.
But I got to get out of here though, Dom, because this thing said plug up. Your battery is dying.
Have a good night, man.
Good seeing you, Moose, man. I'll check back with y'all next Sunday.
All right.
Talk
to you later, DJ. We talk multiple times every day. All right, quickly. I am on the Padres plus 100. I am on the Oakland Athletics minus 124. I am on Texas minus 132. And I am on the Parlay plus 208 with the Braves, who are also minus 132 at the time. Those are the games I'm on. Moose, I appreciate you coming in on a Sunday. It's been fun having you. Any Sunday you're available, you're always welcome. And when's school end, by the way?
It ends for students June 7th, and then for teachers it'll be June 10th, I believe.
Beautiful.
So it's coming up, and as soon as I'm not doing summer school. I told them, like, all right, I've worked 0 period. I've started a baseball club. I do a lot of extra hours. I'm taking the summer. It's for coach. It's for coach time.
Good, brother. Good to hear it. And then we'll get you. We'll be able to grab you every once in a while more. So we always, for my selfish reasons. All right, all right, Moose. Thanks for coming in. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you again next time. This is DommyGun reaching for Who-Bangin Sports. Thank you.